Good evening and welcome on into another episode of From Day One. So let's grab the mailbag real quick first. Oh, we have two prizes. Callahan sent us a jar and some gold, as well as that long combination of letters and numbers. When we left off last night with the frauditors, auditors, soft-sits, and other morons, we had a sovereign citizen who tried to represent himself and cross-examine a Tennessee state trooper in court. This individual was just trying to get into the court, basically breaking every rule under the sun. So that is where we pick it up. The voice you'll have with me is an individual by the name of Van Bellion, also providing commentary.
Yeah, that's my witness.
She wasn't even there on the traffic stop. You were on your own. So how can she be your witness?
She can't.
For the rule, and then she has to step back, okay? Until she's home. Okay, ma'am, if you'll stand right there. Can you tell her not to touch me? No, don't walk into her arm, okay? Okay, hold everything. I need everybody to stay right where they are for 1 minute. Can you put us on the record? Okay. For the record, this is State of Tennessee versus Gregory Justin Parker, case number 1834881.
Get ready for this long list of charges. It's incredible the amount of offences he committed by refusing to pull over.
How many did he rack up?
He's charged with the offense of evading arrest, 8-2, reckless endangerment, 8-3, resisting, 8-4, driving unrevoked, 8-6, speeding, 8-7, reckless driving, 8-8, registration, 8-9, texting while driving, 9-0, failure to use due care, 9-1, driving without a license, 9-2, driving without insurance, 9-3, registration violation, and 9-5, retaliation. All
13 charges, holy fricktard. Dude.
Witnesses that are going to testify. You said you're going to testify, ma'am.
She's here to witness the proceedings.
Okay. Are you going to testify? If you're not, you're going to leave the courtroom.
She's here to witness the proceedings.
Sir, you're not being talked to.
We are not having any witnesses of proceedings now due to COVID regulations.
What's all these other people in here?
Looks to me like they're all there to testify. Your quote-unquote witness isn't.
I was going to say possibly there are other defendants, but yeah, I could go with your answer as well, Van.
Or witnesses in the courtroom. And so if you're going to testify, raise your right hand. If not, okay, then you need to step outside. Sir, if you'll step forward.
Before I cross this bar, I waive no rights and I retain all my rights.
There's a soft bullshit for you.
Okay, now, sir, before we start this hearing, I need you to tell me whether or not you have an attorney to represent you. Do you
I don't have an attorney. I have no need for one.
Now, do you wish me to appoint you an attorney for this preliminary hearing? If you don't wish to have an attorney, I need you to waive your right.
I'm not waiving any rights.
Moron. You either A, accept her offer to give you a public defender, or B, you waive that right so they don't give you the public defender. There is no say, I get to be a fucking idiot and say whatever the fuck I want. So choose either A or B.
Listen to that. The judge is trying to help him, but all he hears is the words waive your rights, and he instantly thinks that's a bad thing. He doesn't understand that in order to properly represent himself, he needs...
It actually is a bad thing for him to do, so he should have a fucking attorney. But go ahead and continue, Van.
...needs to waive his rights to a lawyer, or standby counsel will be appointed, which he will also whine about.
Okay, Well, you either will have an attorney or you will waive your right.
I will not accept an attorney, and I will not waive any rights either.
Again, you don't have that choice. This wasn't A and B. There was no see your way into the conversation.
Okay.
I have the right to be here. That's my self-suit jurors.
To represent you today.
I do not accept representation. I do not need representation.
Do not talk.
Do not talk over the judge. That is absolutely one way to make sure you get your ass fucking, in jail for contempt.
Off the
Quiet, sir.
Okay. I'm going to appoint the public defender. He does not want anybody to represent him, but since he refuses to waive his right to an attorney, I am appointing an attorney only as an armchair counsel for this
I do not
hearing.
accept this.
Do you
not
wish
consent
to
for
talk
this.
to your attorney?
Well, waive your right to an attorney then. The judge gave you the two options available to you, and you chose neither. That's on you.
Correct.
Attorney that I've appointed.
No.
Okay.
I do not accept him to speak a word on my behalf either.
Okay. I'm just going to have one of the public defenders
We'll be available, Judge.
that be available
So
to
we're just
him.
going to hear case
No,
you
I don't
Okay.
have no use for you.
Okay. He has no use for the public defender, but since any
I am
reviewing
confident.
court that looks at this will understand, I am appointing him a public defender as an
Against my
armchair
will
since
and
he
against my
refuses.
consent.
It's not a matter of will or consent. This is for your benefit and to protect your rights. But you're too dumb to understand that.
Yes, he is.
To waive his right. Now, sir, if you at some point decide to testify in this hearing, I assume you would like a jury trial. Is that correct?
Yes, that's the only trial I do accept is a jury trial. I do not accept
And
these
so
sham proceedings.
in order to get this case to criminal
I like that. A fucking jury trial over a traffic ticket. Oh, what a fucking moron.
court, you first have the right to have a preliminary hearing, and so that's what you're about to have is your preliminary hearing. So all witnesses that are going to testify, if you will, please raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you may put your hand down. Now, Mr. Parker, the way this will proceed, General Denny will ask Trooper Herring any questions. After he asks him questions, you'll have an opportunity to ask any questions that you so desire. You may ask.
Dude, if you're clandestine and recording, stop being an idiot and blocking your mic.
Yes, sir. What duties are you assigned in the highway patrol? Traffic patrol. Okay, what area of the state are you currently assigned in? Now I'm going to direct your attention back to the events of March the 29th of this year in the vicinity of Highway 27, somewhere around 6 p.m. Did you encounter a red Chevy truck on the roadway?
Yes,
Yes, I did. Could you just explain the circumstances of your original encounter with this red Chevy truck?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was traveling north on 27 and I saw the red truck coming south on 27 on a high rate of speed. And I confirmed the speed with my radar to be 91 and 65.
91 and a 55, just in case you can't hear it over this guy's fucking rustling of his papers because he's got his cell phone camera mic like 3 inches away from the frickin' papers that he's rustling. God damn, dude, if you're trying to, clandestine record, at least do it a little better.
I turned around, caught up to the vehicle, which is now traveling in a construction zone at 81 miles per hour and 45.
Oh, I'm sorry. 45? So in other words, he's going double. And now, just because the attorney wants, kind of like hammer it home, we play the actual dash cam of the officer. That's what you'll hear next.
It's a red Chevy pickup with ladders on top, Texas tag, Golf, Juliet Papa, 0883, 27 south of the wall.
Oh, that's over by DFW. This guy really ain't getting the hint of the sirens behind him.
Yeah, I believe he's looking for a safe place to pull over.
No, he's not.
Well, yeah, the cop thought this was just an everyday routine traffic stop at that point. He had no idea you had no intention of pulling over. So I don't know why you think this proves your point, because you didn't stop when you had the chance.
You had a perfectly safe spot to pull over, didn't. Avoiding the turnoff for Parker, Texas.
221, our speeds are 52 miles an hour. Right now, traffic is clear. We're getting off on Broad Street.
That's what you
Yes,
think.
but that's not where he said you were doing 91 or 81, is it? He said he clocked you at 91 as you were driving south and he was driving north. Then he turned around, caught up to you while you were travelling through a construction zone. That's when he said you were doing 81 in a 45. There is no construction zone in the part of the video you showed us. You have the dashcam footage, but up to now you've only released part of it. Why is that?
Because he's an idiot. Alright, back to the court case.
The vehicle changed lanes, signaling, and it slowed down to a respectable speed. It was still over the 45 speed limit in the construction zone, but it was much more respectable.
We don't know if he is lying because you didn't post that part of the dashcam video, even though you have it in your possession. Again, why is that?
Because it's not
My
true.
dispatch, I ran the tag. The tag was a Texas tag displayed on a red pickup, and the tag came back to a Nissan out of Texas.
Oh, wait a minute. The tag ain't even right. Son of a double biscuit.
So the tag displayed on the truck did not match the truck. My dispatch asked me to notify them when the vehicle had stopped. The vehicle continued to travel south on 27. My dispatch asked me if I was in pursuit. At the time, I stated to them, no, I believe that he was going to stop. But the vehicle continued past several exits and shoulders, including a grass shoulder.
I like that he put a caption up saying, liar, liar, more perjury. Dude, even the section you showed us showed you avoiding turnoffs for Parker and several other cities there in Texas on that highway. Officer's not lying. Even the video cam you showed backs him up.
Then I notified my dispatch that I was in pursuit of the vehicle. The vehicle continued on 27, getting on the 24, and then exited off 24, continuing to pass by parking lots, shoulders, stopping at a stop sign, making a right turn on the 25th.
Well, video doesn't lie, and it shows you passing one exit, then refusing to stop after that. It was only the traffic lights that brought you to a stop.
Again, back on the dash cam. There's another turnoff he missed. That's 3. Blew through a stop sign. Blew through a second stop sign. And only because there's several cars in front of you
Eventually, the vehicle
and a red light.
stoplight That's when
Did you have to stop?
exited my patrol car, and I felt like this was the opportunity to end the pursuit before anything else happened. So I exited my patrol car, went up to the vehicle. As I was going to the vehicle, I was giving commands for him to stop and exit the vehicle. He was refusing all commands. I took out my baton, broke the window.
Yay, I want to see
had
that.
to remove him by force.
Oh, we have that too? Cool. Run it. Come on, pull that baton. Pull the baton. There's the baton. There's a smashy.
Unlocking the door, removing his seatbelt, bringing him out of the vehicle. Once he was out of the vehicle, he refused to get on the ground, so he was put on the ground by force and taken into custody.
Okay, what distance would you estimate you traveled after you engaged your emergency equipment before coming to a complete stop at the red light? What distance was that?
It was approximately a mile, I would say.
So
Maybe,
he traveled more than a mile or a mile
Yes.
after you engaged your emergency equipment?
Oh, no. After I engaged my emergency equipment, it was probably somewhere between 2 and 3 miles.
2 to 3 miles. What were the speeds during the pursuit?
I believe I can tell you what the top speed was.
If you would, just refer to your notes to refresh your recollection.
Yes, sir. As high as 63 miles per hour. 221, our speeds are 52 miles an hour. Right now, traffic is...
We said the top, not what he did at one call out. The idiot keeps trying to splice this one piece of the footage of the dash cam in his video, trying to make everyone believe that the officer is lying and perjuring himself.
It's clear. We're getting off on Broad Street.
This doesn't mean you weren't doing 63 during other parts of the pursuit. Is this all you have?
Yes, that is all he has.
Yes, sir.
Now, you originally stated, I think, in your testimony that he was doing 91 and a 65 according to your radar.
Your speed was 90 and a 65, and you did not stop. You had plenty of places to stop.
Well, that's a good question. A question a lawyer would know to ask.
Yes, sir.
What speed was he traveling in the construction zone?
81.
Okay, and what's the speed limit in the construction zone?
That particular construction zone was 45.
81 and a 45 in the construction zone?
Really? He's put up a caption saying, I suppose that if the ADA echoes to perjury that it is believable, still no evidence. Are you fucking kidding me?
Well, you could just post the full dashcam video you have in your possession, instead of just parts you think help your cause.
Because they don't help his cause if he does that.
Once you were able to bring him into your custody, as you've described, were you able to investigate further what was going on?
Yes.
What did you find out?
Well, he had his cell phone in his hand when I was at the window, and later on he had stated to me that he started live streaming on Facebook when I was behind him. I also found that he was revoked. His revoked status was revoked for DUI. There was no insurance.
So he didn't have his license due to the fact that he was a drunken alcoholic. And let me guess, he probably didn't have insurance on the car too.
On the vehicle, the registration was expired, but the plate that he had on the vehicle did not match the vehicle itself.
Did you have a photocopy here in court with you of a plate that he may have had affixed to the vehicle that was of suspect or dubious nature?
Well, he had one that was displayed in the window.
Right, if I could see it.
Yes, sir.
So this plate was displayed in a window of the Chevy truck.
Yes.
Which window?
There was only one on the back, just
Okay.
a full back window.
Okay. I'm going to show this to the defendant so that he can view it. I'm going to ask the court to admit this as Exhibit 1 to the state's testimony and move its introduction into evidence.
Okay, sir, is there any objection to that?
No.
Okay. Then
Nice
I'll
little
make
notice, isn't it?
I'm sorry, sir?
It's a nice notice, isn't it?
Okay. I'll make that exhibit 1.
All right. So when you found out that there was no proper registration to the vehicle and that he had this device, did you charge him with some sort of registration misuse violation?
Yes, I did.
What was the basis of that?
Because the tag that was displayed on the vehicle did not match the one that was on the truck. So he was misusing the registration using one that was not for the vehicle itself.
Okay.
The one out of Texas came back to, I believe, a 2008 gray Nissan.
Now, you charged evading arrest because of the 2 to 3 mile chase, correct?
Yes, because he refused to stop.
And you also charged him with reckless endangerment. Is that based upon the overall driving that occurred during the periods that you followed him?
All of it, putting when he refused to stop and the pursuit continues, it puts my life at risk, his life, everyone else on the roadway, including pedestrians that could be in the crosswalk or on the sidewalk.
Really? He's going back to the footage again.
It's a red Chevy pickup with ladders on top, Texas tag, Golf, Juliet Papa, 0883.
Oh, by the way, this isn't me adding in these pursuit clips. He's doing it as a rebuttal to the officer's testimony. But all he's doing is showing a video where he's putting himself, the officer, and other road users in danger. But he sees this as some kind of gotcha, because pedestrians aren't on the highway.
This is also at a time when, kids may have been walking home from school.
On Highway 27.
So let me just ask
Shut up, sir.
You charged resisting. I know you've already testified that he physically resisted your attempts there at the stoplight. Could you describe whether he used physical force to resist you?
Just passive resistance.
Okay. So he just would not cooperate with anything. I think you had to extract him from the driver's seat.
Yes, I did.
Did you have to disconnect a seatbelt or something to that effect to get him out?
Well, the seatbelt did have to be removed from him. The door had to be unlocked. I had to open it myself.
And you had to break open the window to even get to him?
Yeah.
Now, this may be part of the reckless endangerment and the speeding, but you charged in addition reckless driving itself. Is that more or less based on the speed of 91 and a 65, or is there more to it?
Yes, sir. The construction zone, and the pursuit, everything, all the above.
Did he have a driver's license with him?
No, he did not.
Were you able to find anything about his driver's license other than it appeared to have been revoked for a prior DUI?
What a surprise, a soft sit with a revoked driver's license, and for DUI. And you have the nerve to call this officer out on a few speeding discrepancies and inconsistencies that don't appear to be true anyway. Oh, and this nonsense on the screen doesn't apply to this situation.
Since you can't see it, he's actually put up a title card labeled Jurisdiction. Yes, this guy's got that kind of an asshole cloud of him. Let me read it to you. It shall be noted that the statute provides that every licensee shall have his operator's commercial operator's or chauffeur's license in his immediate possession at all times when operating a motor vehicle. It therefore occurs to us that it is absolutely necessary for the state to allege and prove that the accused was, on the date of the alleged offense, a licensee for As we construe the statute quoted above, it applies specifically to licensee, and unless that person accused was a licensee, we fail to understand how that he could be violated of the provisions of the portion of the statute in failing to display same upon demand. Barber v. State, 149 Tax Crim 18-1945, 191 SW 2D 879. And then he even got balls to try to do a second quotation. Where a person is not at the time a licensee, neither the agency nor any official has any jurisdiction of said person to consider or make any order. One ground is to want of jurisdiction. Was accused but not a licensee, they're not claimed to be that he was. O'Neill versus Department of Profession and Vocations. California citation. Well, California doesn't work because you're not in California. And that's not a driving license location. That's actually talking about being a nail beautician. And the other one, Barber versus State, is also not saying that if you are suspended that you're automatically forgiven of the licensing. So stop being an idiot, get your license back in order, and stop being a soft-tart.
No, just through dispatch. When his information was run through dispatch.
One of the things that charged him here was failure to exercise due care. What's the basis of that charge?
Basically, it's just a lesser form of the reckless driving, based on the fact that he's failure to exercise due care to all of the motorists, myself, himself, and any other people or pedestrians on the roadway. Yeah, I believe he's looking for a safe place to pull over. 221, our speeds are 52 miles an hour. Right now, traffic is clear. We're getting off on Broad Street.
But you weren't.
I really don't know why you keep splicing in these cherry-picked clips to try to undermine the officer's testimony, because it shows you speeding and failing to stop.
Okay, and I think another offensive charge is texting while driving. I know you said he was live streaming, or he told you he was live streaming during the pursuit. Was he also texting?
It was the same TCA code as the hands-free law, so I charged him with hands-free and wrote hands-free underneath of it.
Okay, so the actual live stream could have, the way he was positioned was not done in a fashion that his hands were free.
We had his cell phone in his hand.
That's what I'm asking.
Yes.
I notice you didn't try to rebut the cell phone claim. Pretty hard to, as your own video shows the phone in your hand while you're in the driver's seat. Instead, you throw up this stop-sit nonsense about the license being a contract, and a case that has nothing to do with your situation because you are being tried in the state where you committed those crimes.
Then he puts up something for satanic courts. Oh my God. Alright, back to the prosecuting attorney.
Now, the retaliation charge, is that based on something that happened post-arrest?
Yes. In the back of the patrol car, he had stated to me that if I continued my actions, if I continued to do my job and proceed with the arrest, that he would take action against me.
And did he say what form that action would be?
I'd have to go back and look at the video.
USC 42, 1983.
Yes, let's all listen to the part where you warn the cop you're coming after him if he continues with this.
And like last time, Chattanooga, anybody did mess with me, they impounded my truck, took it to the lot and said it was state of Tennessee. They ended up giving me back my truck, didn't charge me nothing. So I had to come get it from their property. They couldn't do nothing with it. And what I'm letting you know, brother, is if we continue with this, you're giving me grounds where I can come after you. You don't have immunity anymore when you're acting outside of your oath. And a lot of you guys, and I'm just being honest with you. I mean, I didn't do it with the last guys because, I am one. I believe in forgiveness. but I can't allow this stuff to keep happening to me because it does bring a lot of hardship on me. And I will have to start, getting made right again because this is causing harm against me and my family.
Okay.
And I could forgive this. But if we go through all steps, I will have, you don't have the qualified immunity once you're acting outside the scope of your authority, brother.
Okay.
I promise you, I'm not just trying to talk my way out of this or nothing. I'm literally giving you a warning right now that, you are violating my rights right now. Without there being a victim, you can't just take me to jail without a warrant.
Did he quote Uniform Commercial Code or some sort of United States code law to you?
He was. Yes, he was.
All right. Now, did you have any other officers with you by the time you encountered him there at the place he stopped at the red light?
No, not until after he was in custody.
Okay. So you were by yourself through the entire record?
Yes, I was.
And all this did happen in Hamilton County?
Yes, it did.
Did the defendant ever offer to you any explanation why he did not respond to your emergency equipment?
He said he was going to stop, and he said that he was going to pull into the gas station. And I said, but you didn't, because he passed by the gas station entrance. So I do not believe he had any intention to stop.
That's all I have at this time. I turn the witness over.
Okay, Mr. Parker, you may ask this trooper any questions you wish to ask of him at this time.
All right, get ready for the soft stuff. I know it's taken a while to properly get to it, but it's definitely worth the wait.
It better be, Van. Yeah, it better be.
Yeah, when did you come to the determination I was driving?
Oh my God. Let's just start with the idiot needle at 11. I like that. Let's just start with the idiot needle turn all the way to max. God. In case you couldn't realize because of my laugh, his question is, when did you come to the realization I was driving? Yeah, that's what he asked.
When I got behind you and you were behind the wheel of the vehicle.
What evidences do you have to make you come to that determination that I was driving?
Asked and answered.
I think that's been answered, sir. You can ask your next question.
What evidences did he have that I was driving, other than being on the road, because there's other uses of the road besides just driving?
You may ask your next question, sir.
Do you know the difference between a right and a privilege?
Yes, I do.
Can you elaborate a little bit what a difference in a right and a privilege would be?
Well, for one, nobody has the right to drive. It's a privilege, and that privilege can be taken away from you at any time.
All right. Do you know the difference between driving and traveling and how it's defined and the codes?
I'm going to object to that question because it's irrelevant under state law.
That's completely irrelevant.
I'll sustain the objection. You may ask your next question, sir.
You obviously don't, because travelling is a right, driving is a privilege. Always has been, always will be.
Can you swear an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution?
Yes.
And on that day, what did you say you witnessed me doing?
Being an asshole?
As you were passing me?
Excessive speed.
I just thought you just told him you witnessed me traveling southbound 27 as you was traveling northbound.
Object to the use of the word traveling.
I was traveling north on 27 and it's all.
That's him splicing.
27 and it's all.
That's his statement. I'm just reiterating what he just stated. When he witnessed
I recall his testimony he said driving.
Yeah.
Well, not to get too pedantic here, but he did say travelling, but he wasn't using it in the same context as you. Subsets love playing those word games.
Who was the victim in this situation?
I'm going to object to the relevance of that. They think the victim life in the state.
How can the state be a victim? Can the state testify? Can I bear witness of the state?
I would ask that you direct the witness that he asks questions of the witness and not counsel on the opposite.
I'm asking the court, where is the state? Can I not ask who made the claim? Who's the injured party that made the claim?
Listen to me. I need you to ask the trooper a question.
Well,
Move on to the next question. It's a question directed at him. Now,
who is the injured party that made the claim?
Objection, Your Honor. We've already
sustained. That is not relevant. You may ask your next question, sir.
This is not a conspiracy to violate your rights. This is you not understanding your rights. Big difference.
I ain't playing y'all's game.
Just so you do know, he decided to throw up a title card. Class C misdemeanor does not equal crime, at least what he's written. If two or more persons conspire to injure, oppress, threaten, or intimidate any person in any state, territory, commonwealth, possession, or district in the free exercise or enjoyment of any right or privilege secured to him by the Constitution or the laws of the United States, or because of his having so exercised the same, they shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 10 years or both. Dude, fuck off.
Standing your rights. Big difference.
Yes, it is.
I ain't playing y'all's game no more. Go ahead, do what you do.
So you don't have any more?
Nah, that's fine. Just remember, I do have all the dash cam and body cam video. So everything you said, you just perjured yourself.
You keep using the word. I do not think it means what you think it means.
It definitely doesn't mean what he thinks it means.
The case number 1834891 is driving without a license,
Right.
and 1834884 is driving on a revoked driver's license.
I think it's covered under the driving on revoke. It's a greater charge. The other one would be a lesser included there.
It appears to be charge stacking on that.
Dismiss the driving without a license.
Can we confirm Mr. Parker is not wishing to engage in the cross-examination?
No, I don't.
Yeah, he said he is through with our game.
Yeah, I don't participate in fraud.
Okay.
I kind of like that this judge doesn't get triggered or rise to his sniping. It's quite refreshing.
Yes, it is, man.
August 24th, and I'm going to dismiss after the preliminary hearing this was in charge of driving on a revoked driver's license.
I'd like to enter some documents in the record as well.
Okay.
We would like you
Wrong
to
yet
shut
again.
the fuck
He
off.
clocked you driving 92 in a 65. That gives him all the probable cause he needs.
Yeah, the idiot throws up another title card. The test for police officers sufficient basis for probable cause let me zoom it in here. Did the officer have a sufficient basis to make a practical common sense decision that a fair probability of crime existed? One, the officer's actions failed to satisfy the test. It may appear that no reasonably objective officer could have believed that probable cause existed to make the arrest. Allen versus City of Portland. So in other words, you're an idiot. The fact that you're speeding is the probable cause. You committed a crime. Back to the tape.
You cemented that even further when you refused to stop. End of.
Sir, I'm going to let the DA, obviously you haven't had an opportunity to put on any proof, but you said you were through with us. And so do you wish to put on any proof in this preliminary hearing?
Proof of what?
Anything. Do you wish to testify?
Yeah, I've not put any out of challenge the jurisdiction from and the jurisdiction. Yes, I get that. But in order to proceed with anything, this court has got to establish jurisdiction. Actually, the prosecution has to establish jurisdiction, and no one has. Neil Pinkston has it. None of his attorney general, assistant attorney generals. This gentleman's employers, these gentlemen, nobody. So we're standing here without anyone claiming any jurisdiction. The violation of due process.
Do you have any questions that you want to ask this witness, or do you wish to testify? Those are the only things that...
What jurisdiction do you have over me?
Sir.
That's a question directed towards him. Is that what you asked?
Not relevant. We're through.
Oh, now it's not relevant.
Back to satanic cord flight, eh? You're an idiot.
Do you have any questions do you want to put on any testimony at all yourself? Do you wish to testify?
I will say this court has access.
Sir.
Back to the satanic court slide,
Do you
eh?
have any questions? Do you want to put on any testimony at all yourself? Do you wish to testify?
I will say this court has access on the fact there is no jurisdiction. That is a statement. She asked me if I had a statement. I just made a statement.
To testify and have any witnesses. So I find that there's probable cause to believe that all these crimes were committed, and they were committed by this defendant here in this county.
There you go. She's just ruled that there was probable cause and on your jurisdiction challenge, all in one sentence. But I won't expect you to pick up on that.
No, he's not that smart.
Over to the grand jury. Sir, stay in touch with your bondsman. They'll notify you if you are indicted which courtroom to appear in criminal court. You're free.
Make sure they do too.
Thank you, sir.
Ma'am,
Your Honor, those were not introduced into evidence. And
I was trying to. He wouldn't let me give them to you. He let me give them to you. So.
I cannot let
all right, I'll just
believe you said you're done.
All right, that's fine. I retain all my rights and don't waive any before I cross this bar.
Thank you, Picard.
Right now, you're going to let me talk, okay? Your case was set on the 130 docket because that's the settlement docket, and I take it that you don't want to settle your case. Is that correct?
No, there is no case. It's void ab initio.
Answer my questions. It's yes or no. You don't want to settle your case, correct?
No, it's void.
Okay. Well, it's not void.
I'm not sure who the gentleman is. I asked for Mr. Parker at home, and he would not identify.
Okay. Sir, whether you identify as Mr. Parker or not, that's the name that you were charged under. Is that correct?
That's the name y'all wrote down.
Okay. And you were present when that name was written down, correct?
I guess. I don't know.
Okay, so he's the individual that is on the record.
Alex, no, I'm not that. I'm not that.
Now, the next step is, I guess this needs to be set for a preliminary hearing, is that correct? And so let's pick a date. You don't want that this afternoon, I trust.
I think I could probably do it pretty quick. Just
okay. So the gentleman that has been charged is Mr. Parker. This is an afternoon docket. The afternoon dockets in this courthouse are settlement only. My understanding is you wish to have a preliminary hearing. Actually, you wish to say this is void.
It is void, and I've challenged the jurisdiction of the court, the DA's office, his office, sheriff's office. Nobody's claimed any jurisdiction or authority over me.
I told you he wouldn't pick up on the judge ruling on the jurisdiction argument.
Stop talking when I'm talking. That's what you do in a hearing. And so, if you want, are you going to have a lawyer to represent you?
No.
Okay. So we can do your hearing today, right now, or we can do your preliminary hearing on a morning docket where we're supposed to have them done. So do you choose this afternoon or another morning?
I choose this stuff to be dismissed because it's void, but if I have any, I need more time so I can put more paperwork because I got claims against this gentleman over here for the crimes he committed against me.
I see you're going through with the threats to retaliate against the cop who stopped you. I guess you must enjoy prison food.
For claims, because that's in a civil court. I'm a criminal court.
Yeah,
but I will
criminal claims, not civil claims.
Okay. So listen to me at this moment. Okay?
He doesn't know how to, Your Honor.
The next time you come into my courtroom, it will be for a preliminary hearing. You should be ready for that hearing with a lawyer or ready to represent yourself. Okay? Those will be your only two choices. You will have a preliminary hearing. You will either represent yourself or have a lawyer. Those are the questions I'm going to ask you at that day. Okay? Now, let's pick a date that everybody is available for this hearing.
Is anybody making any claim of any authority or jurisdiction? It's been over 3 months and I had not wrong response to any of that. I think y'all have a duty to answer those.
Sir, you're an idiot. Shut up.
We don't have a duty to do anything until we are in a hearing. And we're not in a hearing now. You can, I know you filed the motion. I will hear the
I didn't file no motions.
Will you
It's a
file
demand.
something?
It's a demand.
A demand for jurisdiction.
And nobody's claimed
That
any.
means it's a motion. I will treat it as a motion.
No, it's not a motion, it's a demand. That's the difference.
That will work for you, August 24th, 8:30, courtroom 3? Yes, sir. Okay. August 24th, 8:30, courtroom 3. And sir, that will be your hearing date, okay? I will see you on that date prepared for your hearing. Thank you, Mayor.
Alright, you can't challenge jurisdiction until we have a hearing. What the fuck we sitting here doing? Told them, oh, you need more time? No, I don't need more time. Miss, it's void. It's been void. Oh, you claim it's void?
Unfortunately for you, you don't get to determine that. That's the judge's job. So you might want to keep her on side instead of sniping and talking over her. She was trying her best to help you, even dropping a few charges. But I don't expect you to appreciate any of that. Right, that's it for another video. I really do hope...
Thank you very much, Van. I hope you have a great day, and thank you for the two-parter that we did. That is definitely appreciative. Thank you very much. Alright, we've got about 10 minutes left. Let's find a quickie. To go ahead and conclude. Let's see. Actually, you know what we can do? We haven't done in quite a while. I think it's about time we get back to it. Let's do a Judge Judy hyper case of the day. And today, it's dinner, casino, and a kicked out car.
So you pulled in, you were on your way home, there was an argument. Two of you probably had a little bit too much to drink, maybe both of you. Certainly you shouldn't have been behind the wheel of the car if you were drinking. And you pulled into Rick's house, that's Rick. She didn't like what was going on, and pick it up from there.
I pulled in the driveway, I demanded him to get out of my vehicle, I locked the doors.
So he got out?
Yes.
Now, I want you to try to remember very carefully, because the first part of your story you forgot about. You weren't out for dinner. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
You understand. So let's be very clear. And if you don't remember something, there's nothing wrong with saying, I don't remember. Okay, you told him to get out of the car.
Which it was a task to get him out of the car. It was, I kept asking for him to get out of my car, and he didn't want to get out of my car. He eventually got out of the car. Yes, and he started kicking my vehicle. I ran up the stairs. I mean, he was just irate, kicking the car, just, you know, being crazy. I'd never seen him get so angry, and I didn't know what was going to happen. I ran up the stairs, didn't even open the door, and I was like, help me. I don't know what to do. He's kicking the car. He's been crazy. And that's when Rick assisted me and went outside and tried to help me from there.
And those are the damages you're talking about?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now you tell me your side of the story.
Starting from Rick's driveway?
Yeah, she pulled into Rick's driveway.
Okay, we pulled into Rick's driveway, and after she had seen the phone call from this other girl, I guess she was mad about it.
You missed a whole piece of the chapter with me. After she saw what message from what girl?
She didn't see a message. After she had picked me up from where I dropped my motorcycle off, she had seen that I got a phone call from some other girl.
You mean on your way to the casino?
On my way to the casino, yes.
So all this happened before you got to the casino?
Yes.
Well, then where was the drinking? If all this happened before the casino...
I wasn't drinking.
Yeah, but she said she was drinking. Where was she drinking? In the car? She said she was drinking in the casino. You were on your way home. You say you were on your way going to the casino, and she saw a message on the phone.
Yes. And she stopped at Rick's house and wanted me to get out of the car. So I got out of the car.
Before the casino?
Yes.
All right, we had a dinner. We were out for dinner. We had a romantic dinner, and then we had an argument on the way home. Then we were on the way to the casino where I was drinking. Then we were on the way back from the casino.
We never had a dinner.
That's why you're supposed to bring a lawsuit. promptly. That's why the law says you're supposed to bring a lawsuit as soon as you possibly can so that everybody's mind is fresh. He wants to tell me the truth. You want to tell me the truth as best as you can remember it, but you don't remember it, right?
I remember.
Well, you didn't. I mean, how could you remember it and tell me that you had been out to dinner with him and you were on your way home from dinner when you had an argument and you pulled into Rick's house?
I understand. I just got confused about where we were prior.
That's not confused. That was very clear.
It was the casino, not dinner. I apologize.
Well, he says you hadn't gone to the casino yet.
We had gone to the casino.
So, yeah, no, you hadn't. Alright, we got a few more minutes. Let's do one more quick hyper.
Your lawsuit is, so you did no work in the house. At some point, you say you were notified, and you must have reports to show me, that there was stuff going on in the house that caused your neighbors to call the police, and the police came. There was domestic violence. When you finally heard about it, you went and you found that the whole property looked like a trash house. She had vehicles parked in the front. She had a trailer in the back, up in the backyard where some other people were living. Correct. What kind of trailer?
I wasn't there when the trailer was there.
Well, how do you know there was a trailer there?
Because of his paperwork. It was there at one point in time, but...
So there was a trailer. Well, and let's get it straight.
Yes, there was a trailer.
Either he has pictures...
Yes, there was a trailer.
I mean, you can make up things. You can make up things, you know, like you're the Wicked Witch of the North, or you're like the Good Witch from the East, or whatever it is. But for him to say she had a trailer parked in the yard, that's not something
it wasn't
that he
mine.
makes up.
It was something to do with him and the people that were back there.
Who?
Gary.
You mean he had tenants living back there in a trailer?
He told them people they could put the trailer back there.
That's a lie, Your Honor.
Hey, listen, I find a lot about you suspect. Just from the foot to foot. I find a lot about you suspect. Did you move the trailer back there?
I did not know.
Do you know who did?
I know who put the trailer back there, yes.
Who did?
Renee and Tyler.
Who is that?
It's a mutual friend of all of ours.
What was your relationship with the guy who was living in this house, his business partner?
We were just friends. His daughter also lived there, too, in the beginning. It was a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. I was downstairs. Fred and his daughter were upstairs.
Who lived in the trailer?
Nobody lived in the trailer. The trailer was just parked there.
Now, at some point, you moved to evict Miss Warburg. Tell me when you moved to evict her, and first tell me when, and then I'd like to see the paperwork indicating why, and the documentation.
That was September 12th, 2016.
Okay. Tell me why.
Why? I got a call from officer of the Brooklyn Park Police Department.
I'd like to see the report.
Okay. Here's the eviction notice.
No. First, I want to see the police report.
Police reports.
And
these
then?
are for abatements, and these are from the Brooklyn Park Police.
Okay, good. Who's Kathleen Marie?
It's my friend.
And Pixley was your boyfriend?
Yes.
And you had an argument with him on July 19th?
I did.
And you wanted him out of the house?
Right.
So you told your friend who was staying with you to call the police and get him out?
She wasn't staying with me. She was there. I was at the cemetery.
No, I understand, but she had been there for a couple of days, according to the police report.
She'd spent the night. Yes.
And you told her to call the police to have them get him out of there?
Yes.
Okay. So he didn't want to leave. You came back from the cemetery on July 19th, and then you had another fight with him, and the police came back to the house on that day. Okay. And he was off his meds. Is that correct? And he did some damage inside the house.
No, he spit on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't, break anything.
According to the police report, he...
I'm not talking to you yet. And your daughter had gotten into a verbal argument with the same boyfriend back in May?
No, that was her boyfriend.
Oh, that's a different person.
Right.
Your daughter has a drug problem?
Yes, she does.
Boyfriend too?
No.
He does not?
No, he does not. He's clean and sober.
Your Honor, I have evidence that he OD'd.
That was my boyfriend.
We're talking about her daughter's boyfriend. Kathleen is the same person.
Right.
She also called the police on the 19th?
That's the same day.
Then again on July 23rd?
I believe that was Julie had called the police that day.
Mm-hmm.
And that was about Mariah's boyfriend. And he had showed up.
Was your daughter's boyfriend staying at the house?
No, he was not. Not at that time.
But your daughter was?
No, my daughter wasn't either. I had custody of their kids at that time.
Her kids?
Mariah's, my daughter's children, my grandchildren.
How old are they?
2 and 5.
You have them through foster care system?
I did.
So what was she doing in the house?
She wasn't there.
She was in your house.
What date was that?
Whatever date it was, what was she doing in the house?
No, in the beginning she was allowed there. It was after she didn't show up to court, and I believe that was in July or August. It was in August, and then she wasn't allowed there. But they were allowed to see the kids. Both her and Philip were. Philip's got custody of the children now.
Who does?
The father, the dad. He got them back. He did everything he had to.
Who's Renee Curtis?
She's one of the ones that put the trailer in the backyard.
And Tyler is her boyfriend?
Yeah.
And he was also in the trailer?
He wasn't there that time.
But he had been in the trailer?
He had been, yeah.
So based on these reports, you moved to evict her?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. I would too.
Anybody would.
You don't have to help me. I would too.
Thank you. And that'll be our quick little touch of the Judy tonight. Again, when we do come back again in the overnight, we will have the final section of the Crop Circle interview. So please like, share, and subscribe. Get us to those 50,000 views, 1,000 subscribers. You guys have been doing awesome in that regard. Heck, we took 4 months to get our first 5,000. We might get another 5,000 by the end of the month, and I definitely appreciate all of you for it. CoinBase and Ibotta are below. You know the drill. Get your $10 free and your other items free for doing it, like CoinBase Earn. Till then, be kind to one another, and it's always a great new world to release the Kraken. Next episode's at 2 a.m. as we've had the finals of the Crop Circles here on From Day One. Have a good evening. We'll see you in the overnight.